Hello everyone, I'm Nayaswami Devi, and I'd like to share with you one of the blogs from our book, A Touch of Peace. This one is called Enjoy Yourself. Swami Kriyananda was a man of deep spiritual realization, and he also had a delightful sense of humor. His laughter helped us to understand that if God is joy, then the spiritual path should be fun too. One of Swamiji's favorite writers was the British humorist P.G. Wodehouse. Much to our delight, he loved to entertain his friends by reading a Wodehouse story. Sharing amusing stories was also a technique that Swami used to drive home deeper truths and principles when he was teaching. One such example is a true story from the life of the Irish playwright George Bernard Shaw. One evening, Shaw, who is known for his dry wit, was attending a large high society party. Apparently not interested in the social chit-chat of the other guests, Shaw withdrew into a corner. His attentive hostess, seeing him standing alone, inquired, "Aren't you enjoying yourself, Mr. Shaw?" "Yes, my dear," he replied, no doubt with a wry smile. "That's all I am enjoying." This witty reply actually reflects a deeper truth. Ultimately, all we can ever enjoy is our own self. Most of the time, we experience life indirectly through our mind and senses. Our positive or negative responses are only reactions to the unreal world of Maya, or delusion. No outward occurrence has the power in itself to affect us positively or negatively. It's in our mind that we decide whether that experience makes us happy or sad. The only thing we can experience directly, unfiltered by the mind or senses, is our own self, and the nature of this self is joy. We can find this joy in meditation when we still the mind and limit the input from the senses. There, in the quiet of our own being, we experience a joy that isn't dependent on anything outside of ourselves. It just is. Once awakened, this inner joy will be the filter through which we experience everything in life. Then, no matter what happens, joy will permeate our responses on some level. Swamiji once said that there is a joy appropriate to every situation. This doesn't mean that we'll be lighthearted if we lose a loved one or receive a serious medical diagnosis. What it does mean, however, is that no matter what happens, this inner joy will give us the understanding and strength to deal positively with the tests that will inevitably come. Swamiji told us that he once was going through a period of great suffering in his life and was reluctant to offer classes because he didn't want to inflict his pain on others. Yet, to his amazement, during this time, people invariably told him that what they derived from his lectures was a sense of deep joy. He came to realize that despite his suffering, there was a subterranean river of bliss flowing beneath his conscious mind, the joy of his own self. This is what people were feeling. So, my friend, I want to encourage you to keep meditating until you too find this hidden river of joy within yourself. As Yogananda Ji once said, "Ask with all your heart again and again, reveal thyself. At last, like an invisible earthquake, he will suddenly make himself manifest, and then you will be consciously face to face with yourself at last." End quote. Enjoy yourself so that its bliss illumines everything in your life and drives away all darkness. Nayaswami Devi. I remember the very first time in this lifetime that I sat to meditate, It was my last semester of college, and someone had given me a copy of Autobiography of a Yogi to read. And I was interested, I was intrigued by it. And I thought, well, I would like to meditate. I didn't know how at all. My friend who had given me the book had already taken instruction in meditation and was studying it and getting lessons on meditation. I knew nothing. But we went into a church on the college campus, quiet space, and we sat to meditate without knowing at all what I was doing. I just felt this wonderful joy well up within me. And I felt so happy. And I didn't know any techniques. I wasn't doing any mantra. I just sat quietly and still. And when we exited the church, I said to my friend, I was so excited. I said, it's all inside yourself. That's all you have to do is feel it inside yourself. And he was very kind of, no, you have to take lessons and you have to study and you can't just have that experience. And I got real discouraged. I thought, oh, I guess that wasn't a real experience. But it was. And that's what I want to share with you is, yes, we need to study. We need to understand what the practices of yoga are. But even when you sit to meditate, that was the very first time in my life. This time, I think I probably had done it before in another lifetime, but in this lifetime, very first time. And I felt this welling up of joy. So you don't need to think, well, I have to prepare, and maybe one day I'll be good enough to feel the joy of my own self if I keep meditating. Friends, it's with you right now, this very moment. If you just relax within yourself and allow yourself to enjoy your true self, not just the enjoyment of a vacation or a nice meal or a party or something like that. Those are fun, and we need to do them. That's what Swami taught us. But remember where the source of the true joy is, and it resides always in your own heart, always within your own consciousness, and even in the darkest moment, even when despair and grief come, try on some level just to feel, to go beyond the shifting form and to feel the joy of God within you. And if you can just try to be doing that throughout the day, maybe you're standing in line at a checkout line, maybe you're waiting for an email to come in, whatever it might be, in those little pause moments of your day, try to feel the joy of your own self. God bless you.